Guruji, you have told for the Niskalam, Swami Gambhirananji told that without connection in the part. So, how it is possible if parts are there, then connection has to be there. Without, what is his thought in this?
See, if you look at Shankaracharya's Bhaashyam, what does it say? Nirgataha kalaha yasmat. Nirgataha kalaha yasmat. Literal translation is that from whom parts are not there, are gone. All parts are gone. That is the literal meaning of nirgatam. Means that which does not have parts. That is the actual meaning. I should not have said Gambhiranandaji's translation. I should not have said in class because it creates confusion. Because he's talking about connection with parts. If Swamiji comes to know that I talked about Gambhiranandaji's translation, he will come and throw stones at me, because means not that Swamijis are all great, but the translation is, we don't agree with the translation. I mean, that's not what Shankaracharya is saying. Connection kahan par hai? Yahan par kuch nahi hai. Nirgataha kalaha yasmat. That from which parts. Nirgatam means have gone, have disappeared. That is the meaning. So you're right. Therefore, when parts are not there, where is the question of connection? So that's the way to understand this word nishkalam. It's partless. So we can't say that way. If you say that from whom connection is gone with parts, that means there are parts, but there are no connection. There are many parts, but Brahma is unconnected with all these parts. You just your life is different. My life is different. Correct. So that's not correct. That's not correct. So, sometimes, I mean, having said all this, sometimes when I pushed into a corner, I will look into the Gambhiranandaji's translation, because there is something that I don't understand, and I have to look at everything. I will look it up. So I do namaskara to Swami Gambhiranandaji, because they know it. They know it. But the translation can be misleading. That's all I'm saying. If I simply rely on a translation, I will get misled. Doesn't mean Swamiji is wrong. I will get misled. I will start assuming things. Swamiji is clear. But this communication में कुछ गड़बड़ होता है. Correct?
जी जी गुरुजी.
Yeah. That is why Shravanam, that's why reading is not acceptable in our Acharya. I read this person's Upanishad book and all. If you say, they will say, okay, good, how was it? They will ask, that's all. They will not be impressed, because reading does not decondition us. After getting all the background and clarity is there, Satyam Mithya is understood, then we can read any number of books, anybody's book we can read, no problem. And we can interpret accordingly. But a beginner's reading, bit iffy, it is a bit risky. They will start developing all these ideas, and so anyway, that's just by the way. Thank you, Yogi ji. Yeah, Prasad ji, go ahead.
Namaskar ji, Kumar ji. You said the reflected consciousness. Sometimes I underline sometimes. Right? You said the sometimes we call Chidabhasa. Correct. Now that is my on that basis my question is, all that what we experience, the body, thoughts, mind, everything, it is the general awareness right now for me. So it's the upadhi the reflected in the mind, which has got the capacity to reflect in the mind. Mind has that capacity. So it is Chidabhasa. I feel this is more, I mean, many times it comes many places. In fact, some time back also I raised the question to you that you don't normally mention Chidabhasa very often. That I observed from the beginning. And in fact, you said like sometimes also. So the first person experience what we get based on general awareness today, being this body mind, is that reflected conscious generally. So we have two theories, right? One is limitation theory, other one is uh, Pratibhimbavada and Avachedavada. Now, these two are meant for probably by taking a reflected mirror reflection of my face. When there is no mirror, the reflection is gone. So it happens even in the deep sleep. What is gone is that part of it which is gone, because consciousness is always there, the pure consciousness. So here I'm distinguishing importance of saying that when in the deep sleep you don't have it, whereas in the normal, I'm talking about again in the apara knowledge only, it is general awareness which is there. And in fact, when we talk about jiva, it is the Brahma Pratibhimbam Bhavati, it says, correct? Jiva's definition, I think, Tattva Bodha, it says Brahma Pratibhimbam Bhavati. So, to say whether pure consciousness is, no, the reflected consciousness is pure conscious or not, I can say yes and no, just like moon and sun. The moonlight, whether it is sunlight, I'll say yes one way, I'll say no other way. Similarly, here also it is yes and no. Between these two theories, actually. So one is in the limitation theory, Avacheda, I will say yes, because if I'm looking through the window, I see based on the shape of my window. Whereas the other one, Pratibimba, I take a mirror and that example. So all this, and also in, if I remember, Tattvabodha Swamiji said clearly that when I'm moving away, it's actually the Atman, which is the Jiva, conditioned by the Sukshma Sarira, which is moving away. I mean, in transmigration. When he's talking about death, actually, I think this is what he said in Tattva Bodha. So it is sort of giving the meaning that Chidabhasa is what is actually is referring to there in a Jiva, when it is referring to Jiva. So anyway, so all this I'm saying that the importance of Chidabhasa, when particularly in the Aparajnana, when we are talking about that, and these two theories, which only to point out these two theories probably used, but not really like to be taken as true. That's my understanding. So that's, and the final question is that it's very important for me to understand Sakshi versus Chidabhasa with all this theory, what I am saying. So when you say sometimes, that's fair.
Okay. So, yeah, your last question is, okay. Let's come to the last question last. So there was not a question in your thing, but let's understand this properly.
Yeah.
This discussion is useful because when the person is awake, there is transactions happening, and I also exist, of course. I'm the one who's transacting. I'm the one who's doing so many things. I'm the one who's thinking. I'm on those. So everything happening, I exists. That I is ahankara. It's not the body, that we know so much, not the body, etc. And so there is somebody else. And who is that somebody else? That is ahankara, the kingpin of this jiva, ahankara. And what is ahankara? It's also a thought only. And so it is a manifestation of Chaitanyam only. Okay. And it makes itself felt, and it is reflected consciousness. Chidabhasa, consciousness. Every thought is reflected consciousness, but this Chidabhasa is Abhasa Chaitanyam. Hey, it is not the real Chaitanyam. That I is so powerful. It is always there, but it is almost as good as Chaitanyam. That's why it's Abhasa Chaitanyam. And it is manifest as the I thought. Whenever I say I did it, come, please come. Oh, that was me. And no, I did not call you. It was somebody else. All that I, when I say, it is referring to that Chidabhasa. It can't refer to Atma. This is the discussion. Purpose of the discussion is, does that I refer to Atma or Chidabhasa? This is the question. Okay, that is a question that we have to think about. Okay. In our, when we introduce all these Shastram and all, we talk about who is that I, who am I? That is a question. That's why Atma Bodha, right? Hey, but Atma Bodha, who am I? I am not Chidabhasa. I am Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. I am Sat Chit Ananda. Then what are you talking about? I am Chidabhasa. The Ahankara is a thought. Ahankara is still a finite entity. Ahankara is not there. It is not there. It is not there. It is not down below also. It is not even there in my knee or any other part of the body. It is there only in the mind. That means it is finite. It's a finite entity, obviously. It's a very subtle, very, very subtle thought. And so that is referred to as Chidabhasa. And when I say I am Brahma, who is saying I am Brahma? Obviously, Atma is not saying I am Brahma. Atma need not say I am Brahma. Atma cannot say I am Brahma. Who is saying? Chidabhasa is saying it. The guy who's aware. I am aware of myself. I know it. I know it. Who is saying I know it? Atma is not saying I know it. It's some entity. We are blessed with an entity called Buddhi, and in that Buddhi, all this magic happens. Hiranmaye, Pare Koshe, and the Chidabhasa is the one that says, I am Paramatma, I am Brahma. All these statements are being said by whom? Not by Atma, not by Brahma. And so, you can only end up with Chidabhasa, correct? Whenever I say I, it has to refer to Chidabhasa only. It can't refer to Atma. But in this discussion, we won't have in the beginning. When we are introducing this topic to somebody, who am I is so important. And that I is not the body, not this, not that, not Sukshma Shariram. Sukshma Shariram includes Ahankara. No, I is not Ahankara. That is what we say. That's not the real I. And we really understand it when we talk like that. But as we move forward, as our understanding improves, then we acknowledge that this guy who is talking, is thinking, is happy, I understood this, I've studied so many texts, this, that, the guy who is so happy about all this is really Ahankara or is really that Chidabhasa. Like Atma doesn't have to study anything, Atma doesn't have to be happy, Atma doesn't have to feel like this is my goal, my Purushartha is moksha. Like, moksha is not meant for Atma anyway. Moksha is meant for whom? Okay, the Jiva, who is now Chidabhasa. Now I introduce another word, Jiva. Jiva, Chidabhasa, Ahankara. There has to be an entity, finite entity for whom this Shastram is meant for. Shastram is not meant for Atma or Brahman. And so, all along, you can only stop with Chidabhasa. You can't go beyond that. Any sentence, you can't go beyond that. Sentence you can say, Aham Brahma Asmi, you can say. But who is saying it? Who is understanding it? Not Atma is not understanding it. Thank God there is a Chidabhasa who is there to understand all these things. And so, you after Chidabhasa, Deha, Shariram is there, and then Indriyani, etc., Buddhi, and then Chidabhasa, full stop. As far as transactions are concerned, Chidabhasa, full stop. You can't stretch it to Atma. The stretch to Atma is what? Is the Lakshyartha of Chidabhasa. It is that Jahalla Jahal Lakshana. If you have to put, only then you go to Atma. And after you do the Jahal Lakshana, you understand Atma, and then you come back to Chidabhasa. Because Chidabhasa is all that is there in the waking state, in all states, really speaking. In sleep, I'm not there to talk anyway. And I wake up and say I slept well or it was a disturbed sleep. Chidabhasa again. So, the Swarupa of Chidabhasa is Atma, which is the real me, is Jnanam. No doubt about that. Swarupa of Chidabhasa. Chidabhasa is not Satyam. Chidabhasa also is Mithya. Where I put a full stop, that is Mithya. And that Mithya is Satyam, but the Satyam cannot be objectified. Even for me to say, I will be struggling to say what? I will be struggling to say I am Atma. Because which I is Atma? Where is Atma and where is I? Like that, if people start asking, I will be struggling. Why? Because that Atma is like that. Adreshyam, agrahyam, agotram, avarnam, achakshushrotam, etc. Vak. Yato vacho nivartante. That is the meaning of that. You can't use any word to point to Atma. Even when I say I am Atma, okay, you have to say Chidabhasa. The Swarupa of Chidabhasa is Atma. That is the meaning of I am Atma. That is what Prasad is. I'm rephrasing whatever Prasad said into this different language. And so who is traveling after death? Atma cannot travel, Atma need not travel because Sarvagatopi Atma we saw in Atma Bodha. What Sarvagata traveling? Space cannot travel. In space we can travel, but space doesn't travel because space is everywhere. So then somebody is traveling, somebody is getting a Punarjarma, Baba. This is a whole big science behind it. And who is that? Okay, that same Chidabhasa, whom you can say Jiva, whom you can say Ahankara also you can say. Which has the load, full load of karma is there. Fortunately. It's fortunately because it has to follow order, otherwise it will become random. And so that Chidabhasa travels. We use the word Jiva travels. We use the word Chidabhasa when we are talking about the self right now. We say Chidabhasa. This traveler, the guy who came, the guy who was born, etc., we say Jiva. We use a different word for the same thing, Jiva. Okay, I hope this is to be properly thought about carefully, and then therefore our Parvidyanandaji Swamiji will always say this. Atma is an extrapolation. You all know extrapolation, no?
Yeah.
Mathematics, you said 4-5 points are there, you draw a line. Then you extrapolate. It means you extend the line some more and then find out where it hits the y-axis and all that.
Linear programming.
That is Atma. Extrapolation. Even though my essence is Atma, to really understand Atma, I have to extrapolate. Because Atma is not objectifiable. That's the brilliance. That's why whole Shastram is there to tell us which book is
What is
going to
the
tell all this.
exact word, Guruji? Extrapolate spelling?
Acha, spelling EX. You write this down.
EX. EX.
TRA, extra,
Uh,
polation,
PO.
POLATE, extrapolate. Okay, look up Google and try to understand. It comes in mathematics.
Mathematics. Surface area, for example, you take a dot and it's a circle or a parabola and all that. So that's how we extrapolate to.
In medicine, they do extrapolation all the time. I'll tell you an example. They will test the chemical on rats. Then they will say it is working on rats. Now I have to see whether it works on cats. And so they will actually do the experiment on cats. And then they will find out, that cat also, it is curing that same disorder. Then what? Then will they do it on dog? Then they'll do it on horse? And they'll do on monkey, gorilla? No. No, it will work on human being. That is called extrapolation. That's called extrapolation. Yogi ji also will be doing it on his patients. He has all kinds of medicine bottles and all are there. This is something new. It looks like this, like that. What about else? He will make some inquiries. Then he will say, I think this combination will work for him. Even though it is a new disorder, he also will be forced to extrapolate in certain cases. If a person is always extrapolating, he is not a doctor, okay? He should not have been given a degree. But that is extrapolation, Yogi ji.
It is said actually, Guruji, that Sukshma Sarira Avachinna Chaitanya Atma at the end of it, correct? Sukshma Sarira Avachinna Chaitanya Atma.
Correct.
So,
Avachinna Chaitanyatma.
Chaitanya.
So that's why they talk about all this avachinna and pratibimba and all that. So we are forced to say consciousness is reflected, forced to say. And that is what enables us to talk about consciousness also. And avachinna is same thing. That upadhi fragments, divides, makes things distinct. And so consciousness is as though made distinct by ahankara. Ahankara, finite, as though made finite. The infinite has been made finite. Infinite is made finite. You cannot make infinite finite, not possible. But as though made finite. It's called avachedavada. Anyway, we don't need to understand that
Yes.
Atma is an extrapolation of Aham. That is why Upanishad also says, guy who says I knows really doesn't know. The guy who doesn't say I know is the one who knows. These are all various ways of saying the same thing.
Upanishad very beautifully said. Tasya matam tasya matam matam yasya vedasa.
Correct. Those things become very meaningful for us now. And for those who have studied this for a while.
And actually, this
Yogi.
one also can be said as the last. So when based on all this, we can also think that what is close to me, mind presently, and what is close beyond that, what is close to me, I can say you go, because that's where it initially starts. And then what is close beyond that, then Chidabhas I can say, because that's reflected. Then what is even close to me, like Upanishad, it's finally that which is close to me, closest of all.
Yeah.
Avagati, and when you say Upanishad, the real deep meaning is like, is what is close to me is basically that self. So,
Yeah. Thank you, Prasadji.
thank you, Deepmat.
Yeah. So, Yogiji, you still have a question?
Guruji, I left one question. You have told about this Buddhi is there in Hriday in the starting of today class.
Sorry, Buddhi?
Buddhi is there in the Hriday.
Yeah.
So what does it mean, Guruji?
It is the Shastra's way of presenting Buddhi. It is Shastra's way of presenting Buddhi. It is there in all the Shastram. Buddhi Guhayam. Like that Shastram. Buddhi Guha. Hridaye Buddhi Guhayam. Like that they say. Heart is the place where the Buddhi is. Means, what is said is, a buddhi is intellecting, constantly objectifying things. Okay, knowing. Here also is knowing is involved, but you know what? Every time when you say you know an object which is different from you. But Atma is not an object, first of all, and it is definitely not different from you. And whenever I say I put my hand here on my heart, I don't put my hand here. I did it, I don't say I did it. Who did that painting? Not I did the painting. Here only for karma, sar pe likha hai, that only then I touch this head. But every time I touch my heart. Somehow. And so that heart becomes I. Heart becomes the seat of I. So the buddhi, which is the seat of I, is in the heart. And so don't look at Atma as an object. Atma is the subject. And so subject is I. This is aparoksha jnanam. Everything else is paroksha jnanam. Devata jnanam is paroksha jnanam. But Atma jnanam is to be, is the knowledge of the self which is in the heart, which is I. So you have to have that knowledge of the self. That is why the Buddhi, constant it is. Yo veda nihitam guhayam parame vyoman. Constantly it comes. This suktam, that suktam, everything. Narayana suktam also it comes, I think. So that is, we can't take it literally. It is the mind is there literally here. No, not like that. It is meant to uh, demonstrate these nuances about Atma Vidya.
Guruji, one more thing you told that like in Yoga Marga, there is when we do the sadhana, we hear some sound and dhumram. Like that, so many steps are there. So you told that this type is not advisable, this type of experience in Vedanta.
Okay?
But in Shvetaswara Upanishad also it is coming. Shvetaswara
Correct.
Upanishad, it is coming, all the which is there in the Yoga Marga experience, that is written in Shvetaswara Upanishad also.
Correct. So that means that experience is true. That means that science is true. So that is a separate vidya which is true. Which means the person's mind has to be subtle. Only a person's mind which is very subtle and highly evolved can have these kinds of experiences, correct? And so such a person, hopefully such an experience should also tell the person that even such a subtle experience which nobody can get, only I can get, is also a temporary experience. It's also temporary. However great the experience is, it is temporary. But Shastram is talking about something that is Nityam. Moksha is Nityam. Every school of thought, Darshana, Sankhya ko lo, or Yoga ko lo, or this Nyaya, Vaisheshika, Purva Mimamsa, everybody talks about moksha, and you ask them, what is your moksha? Is it Nityam or Anityam? They say it is Nityam. Therefore, that experience in this Anahat yoga, whatever yoga it is that I get, is also Anityam, because that Anityam is very clear. Because I have to get the experience, I lose the experience, then I have to get the experience, I have to lose the experience. Therefore, Shastram, this Aham Brahmasmi has nothing to do with experiences. Experiences are good, it keeps my mind calm. It keeps me away from all the things that otherwise I just run after. This experience is good. Don't run after this experience, because this experience is very good, very enjoyable. Be careful, that also is bhoga. Use it for chitta shuddhi, not for bhoga. Chitta
Indeed.
shuddhyartham. Chitta
Indeed.
shuddhyartham, very important. That is why Upanishad is mentioning it.
Mm.
Otherwise, it doesn't.
Useful for Chitta Shuddhi.
Chitta shuddhyartham, natu bhogartham. No, don't
Mm.
put a full stop there.
Mm.
That is what he's saying. Because it has something else to say. Shvetashvatara. Been a long time since I read it. I have to study the Shvetashvatara. Good. Yogi ji, good question.
Thank you, Guruji.
Is it clarifying
And,
somewhat all these things?
this I got, Guruji. For the Hriday Guha, means my clarification was my father has told that Hriday Guha is the Ati Sukshma Pradesham in Buddhi, where this Atma is avbhaset. That is what my father has told.
So, what is the meaning of the sentence? Your father has told all right. He said the right thing, but what is the meaning of that? How do you understand all that?
Today this my clarity is clear. I got some clear.
He said that. He said that to you. He said this. I believe
Uh,
that your father said it correctly only. And that is the right thing.
mm,
Hriday guhayam avabhaseta. Buddhi is needed. Buddhi. Heart is only pumping blood. What else can the heart do? And you go to the science community and say mind is in the heart. What will they say? You keep your Vedanta with you. Please don't come here. We will invite you later on. That's what they will say, correct? That later will never come.
mm.
So We are very clear about it. We are not saying physically the mind is in the physical heart and all that. We say it is aparoksha jnanam. Aparoksha jnanam, you can challenge the medical community. Come, I'll tell you what aparoksha jnanam is. Then they will be challenged. Don't worry about heart and mind and all. Let's talk about aparoksha jnana. Yeah. We are getting deep into Upanishad, so it talks like that. This like kind of language is there. We are trying to understand what that language means. But without that language also, we will understand same tattvam. Without this language, suppose Buddhi Guhayam is not there. Hridaye is not there. Upanishad will still pass on the same message to us. Aparoksha Jnanam is there. Here in this mantra it's coming. Atma Vidaha Viduhu. People who know Atma know Brahma. How? It is only possible if Atma is equal to Brahma. Yeah.
Thank you, Guruji.
All right. Hari Om.
And again, this is not biological heart, right, Guruji? It's only just general, like you say, me, like this. That's the general position of saying me, heart. It's
So
not
you can
biological.
take it like that also. You can take it like that. Sometimes many teachers say that it's not a physical heart. Okay. That's easy. That's easy. We don't need to talk about it. But that is your life-giving essence. Therefore, it is called heart. Somebody said that Hrit, some meaning is there. They broke it down into 3 parts and then gave the meaning of the word Hridaya. I forgot it now. This one, our Samskrita Bharati founder, what is his name? Shastri.
Murthy Shastri. Krishnamurti Shastri.
Samskrita Bharati founder. So, anyway, I'm not getting his name now. He came to Houston. We invited him for a camp, Sanskrit camp, long ago, 2004. And there he broke down this Hridaya into three letters or 3 words, and he gave a nice meaning to it.
Is Vyasa's Guru only?
Yeah, it's all, I think they all also will talk like that.
Is it not the same person for Samskrita Bharati?
No. This is Krishna. This is
Yogi. No, his name.
No, Samskrita Bharati founder. Come on.
Okay, it's different. Okay.
Yeah.
Chamu Krishna Shastri.
Chamu Krishna Shastri. Chamu Krishna Shastri. So, Chamu Shastri, yeah. He came to Houston once, and then we invited him for a camp. We had a camp in Richmond campsite. We stayed there for 2 nights, I think. And Swapna, do you remember all that? Probably not. At that time,
I joined only 2006.
6, okay. And so he came, amazing. Krishna Shastri ji came. He said, please come to Samskrita Bharati. Join Samskrita Bharati. Like that he said. At that time, I was so much into this Upanishads and Bhagavad Gita and all. What will you say? Then I said something like, no, I have parents to take care of and all. Don't worry, I'll take care of your parents. This is what he said. Then I'll check with Swamiji. Oh, then it won't work. What do you do with these kinds of situations, Some very highly respected person is telling these things. Anyway, that's just reminiscences. So, he gave the nice meaning for Hridaya. If I find out, I'll let you know. Okay. So, Vaidya is there. Vaidya, we can't see you. Go ahead.
Yes, Jaykumarji, sorry, my computer is having some issues with the camera, so Zoom is not recognizing the camera.
Okay, all right.
And so my question is this. So if Ahankara is also called Chidabhasa, right? I think you said that, correct?
In many contexts, it is called a Chidabhasa. Ankara need not mean Chidabhasa in every context, but yeah.
Okay. Because no, the reason I'm asking you is, would Ankara be considered, because Ankara is also part of Mana, Buddhi, Chitta, and Ahankara, right? So it is part of that Vijnanamaya Kosha, correct?
Correct.
But Ahankara, if you look at it in a different light, like, when you say Chidabhasa or Jiva or Ahankara, that would be Karana Sharira, right? So Jiva is in Karana Sharira.
Correct. So it comes under Karana Shariram. That which travels is Karana Shariram. So at that point, we drop the word Ahankara. We said Ahankara is part of Buddhi, part of Sukshma Shariram. And so the traveler is Karana Shariram.
Okay.
But Sukshma Shariram also travels,
Yes. Sukshma Shariram and Karana Shariram together travel, right?
So Ahankara will travel either way.
That is true. That is true. But what I'm saying is, would it be accurate to call it like that?
Our acharyas used talk like that. They do say, because that Ahankara is very subtle. When it is fully manifest, you can say he is a doer. Doership. Ahankara is the center of doership, locus of doership. Okay.
Correct.
That we understand.
Correct. And the doership is Vijnanamaya Kosha.
Yeah. But when the Ahankara is subtle, just the I-ness, when I appreciate the I-ness, that I is Chidabhasa.
Got it.
That I is Chidabhasa.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so then there it could be called as Jiva then.
I exist if I say who exists. Jiva only exists, no? I mean, everything, so many things exist, but when I say I exist, who is that I?
Yeah, that's Jiva.
The consciousness must manifest itself. Consciousness doesn't say I exist. Because apanipadam, achakshu shrotram, etc. How it doesn't have a mind, abuddhi also. Consciousness cannot even recognize itself. Okay. Consciousness does not know it exists, and consciousness need not know it exists. Correct?
That's right.
Therefore, when I say I exist, then we are not really talking about consciousness. We are talking about an entity which recognizes my existence, and that is I only. I only recognize my existence. And so that subtle entity is called Chidabhasa. So you're right. Your point is well taken. Ahankara is used as a karta also. Then it is there in Sukshma Shariram. Then what about Karana Shariram, etc.? Yeah.
So you can say that Ahankara, when it's used as in the sense of karta, is in Sukshma Shariram. But when it is used in the sense of I exist, then it is Karana Shariram.
Chidabhasa. Okay. That's why it's better to call it Chidabhasa. That Chidabhasa is a better word in that context. Leave Ahankara for all jobs.
Okay.
That is better.
And
so this is a boundary condition problem, Vaidya.
Yeah. Okay. I understand. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Vaidyaji.
So, yes. Guruji, when we say Karana Sharira travels, even Sukshma Sharira also travels, we can say that can we say that when it is traveling, it is basically the Ahankara has dropped its identification with the body, that existing body. That is not there. That is not there.
Correct. Because body itself is not there.
Yeah.
But the identity with the body was there. So that's why after death, they say it's hanging around and all that they say. You know why hanging around? That's what. The thing is there, oh my God, I lost my body. If you think about that state, it is very, very You can't imagine that state, because we have never seen such a state. They can't tell us also. This is how the jiva is. When the jiva dies, this is what happens. Look at me. I can't look at you. She can't tell me. Nothing is possible. So they say all these things, that the jiva hangs around here, and so we have to pacify the jiva, and that's why all these karmas are to be done, etc. The shanti and all. It is just it's hard to refute all that. Hard to refute. So you're right that attachment is not there. There's no bodiless jiva. We don't know what a bodiless jiva is. We can only talk about it. Mindless jiva, bodiless jiva. Oh boy, that's a tough one.
And the experiences also get carried forward as vasana.
Correct. Vasana. So by the Shravanam, we would see Shravanat, moksha. But Krishna's doubt was, what happens if I don't get moksha in this life? Then vasana, what he said is there. This vasana will pick up. So we are creating a vasana also with this. Advaita vasana is being created.
So if I try to understand this, if the body is disidentified with if the jiva has not identified with the existing body, then probably only the pain and the pleasure part of the body is detached, because the body as a sthula sharira experience, because it hangs around, probably the memory of relationships and all that, it still hangs around for that which we do karma and all that.
See, this is an area where I don't know that much, because Sukshma Shariram is there. See, Sukshma Shariram is there, and so Buddhi is there. Sukshma Buddhi is there. So, therefore, some feeling is possible.
Correct.
So, we have to look at the Shastram and see what type of feelings are there, what type of feelings are not possible. This it's not something I want to comment on. And because how can the jiva stick around and not leave? Some feeling must be there. Some attachment is there.
Emotional attachment could be there.
That means mind is there. Emotions are there. Then it is there constantly. Something is there. It is not as much as the body. If the body is there, the full expression is possible. But otherwise, it's limited. So it's a different science altogether.
Another thing there is that the memory which is now part of Sukshma Shariram is not carried forward.
So your voice is not. Tell me again.
The memory which is part of the Sukshma Shariram is
Correct.
not carried forward.
Last part is not
carried forward.
Oh, memory is not carried forward. Is that what you're saying? Memory is not carried forward.
No, but it is what is Manas Chaikaiva and Buddhist Chaikaiva as part of Sukshma Sarira.
No, the relationship, the person, the place, very.
Sukshma Sarira is 17 factors. All 17 factors.
Correct. But what he's saying is, if it were carried forward in its entirety, then this Janma, I should have the memory of past Janmas also.
Correct.
I should be able to say, what a great life I had in the past. Look at how I'm suffering now. Like that, I should be able to say, no. That memory, he says, is not there.
But vasanas also is a type of memory, no, Jaykumarji?
No, it's not a memory that you control. It's a different kind of memory. It is a memory, correct. But it is not a memory that you are aware of, that you can recall. See, memory means, suppose I say, Rukmaniji, where did you study when you were 10 years old? What will you say?
Yeah, I will recollect where I studied and I will tell.
That is called memory.
Okay.
But vasana and all, what recollection is required? Why do I like sweets and you like kara? Please tell me, what is the answer to that? No recollection. Nothing, no recollection.
my liking of Mysore Pak, my liking of jalebi, that is engraved in my mind as a memory, and that continues as a vasana.
We have to come up with a definition now for what is vasana and what is things that we recall.
Okay.
Both are imprints. Both are imprints.
Yes.
Both are there. My memory of the school I went is there in my head. Then all the things that make me unique, all the vasanas. He only eats like this, he doesn't like this. That's all the likes and dislikes and all is also there in the head only, imprint. But those things we attribute, we say vasana, all these likes and dislikes. All the other experiences is there in the memory. It may have created some vasana. It may have created. My teacher did this, did that. Because of that only I got a PhD in this subject, if I say, then that teacher rubbed on me quite a bit, no? All I'm aware of. But vasana is something you have no control over. And you don't have to recall it. It is manifest in us automatically. I hope I'm clear on this.
And the death part of it is actually, for a jnani there is no death, and for the person who has not got moksha, who has no atmajnanam, and in the form of vasana the jiva travels further. So punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam, it happens.
Okay.
Right?
Correct.
So only for the jiva, that ahankara, aham, mamakara, that continues at the time of departure from this world. I, mine. So for that jiva, the travel is still there.
Correct.
And the person who has got I am eternal, I am Atma. Atma has no birth, Atma has no death. If that jnanam prevails, then he has no birth.
Then the jiva has no birth. Correct.
Jiva has no birth. Right? That stage is moksha.
That is the result of moksha. That is what we will say. Because moksha happens many years ago, moksha has happened. Now only the person died. So moksha has already happened.
When he is alive, that time. And moksha can be gained only when you are alive, when you are conscious. Right?
That is what we say. Most people in the world don't agree with us, by the way. What to do?
Because atra, iha, atra, eva.
Yeah, ihaiva tairjita sargaha.
Yes.
So we are minorities, we are ultra minorities. We need to have some rights. We need to go to the government and Modi and we have to demand some rights, we minorities. We should protest. Peaceful protest we should have, not like the CIJ and CJI, I think. CJP, sorry, CJP, not CJI. CJI is a different joke, but CJ. Anyway, we don't want to get carried away. Ramuji will have some nice jokes for us today, and then after that we'll conclude. Thank you, Ramuji.
Not a joke that you were talking about Brihadaranya Upanishad, Swayam Jyoti Brahman Mandar. From that only Bhagavad Gita has coined the Ekashloki.
Ekashloki, correct. I should have mentioned it, but
Kim Jyotir Bhanumata
Tava Bhanuman, Kim Jyotis Tava Bhanuman. Then what else?
Kim Jyotir Bhanumana Mahani Me Ratro Pratipakam Swadevam Ravideeva Darshanavito Kim Jyotir Akhya Higme Chakshur Tasya Nimilanadi Samaye Kim Didhyo Darshane Kim Tatraham Ato Bhagavan Paratmagam Jyotistatmani Prabhu.
He's saying, when the eyes close, who is going to help you? Surya is there, but what is he? His eyes are closed. Then who is going to help you? He says, Chakshur Nimilana Samaye. Very interesting. Yeah, Ekashloki.
That I remember.
Yeah.
Ramoji, please post it.
I have done already.
Even the Natatra Suryo Bhati. Even that.
No, this is directly
Next mantra is that, I think.
A summary of what the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad Swayam Jyoti Brahmana said.
But I like that discussion between Yajnavalkya and Janaka. Goes back. Like the child is asking a question. Oh, then what about that? Oh, then what about this? Because the child is logically thinking. Until the parent is cornered, the child will keep on thinking. So good. Thank you, Ramuji. Thank you.
Vak was something which was revealing, like, oh, the next thing we'll think, what is that which shines? We didn't, I am not able to connect with words.
There is some echo in your thing. It's not clear at all. I don't know why. Is everybody able to hear Meera properly?
No, there is some echo. Yeah.
Okay.
Now only, Meera.
Yeah, the Vak, what you mentioned in that mantra, it is so difficult to connect after Chandrama and after fire, it is the Vak. So now we know Vak Agni and all that. Why?
Agni, you say fiery speech. Agni, Vak.
Fairy. All right. Good, ma. Thank you. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Dhanvantaraye Amrita Kalasha Hastaya Sarvamaya Vinashanaya Trailokyanataya Shri Mahavishnave Namaha.
Dhanyavada.